Alison, I was going to bring yourself in, obviously, from social work point of view, if that was okay.
Yes, certainly. I mean, I think there have been opportunities for us to engage, but most of that has probably been through the submissions that Social Work Scotland has made to both the original consultation process and then the submission that it's made to the bill. And certainly from Social Work Scotland, we have engaged across our membership group to try and get a really strong and collective voice around that. And certainly I know for some of the frontline social workers, SASWA certainly has also done some of that work as well, and we've combined around that. I think one of the challenges we get with the consultation, and certainly Social Work Scotland discussion around this has been asking for a pause so that we can then do the co-design process in a level of detail prior to the bill coming in, is around that engagement and making sure that we do get the voice not just of people with lived experience but of those people who assess for and deliver services as part of that. And I suppose it's thinking about the current context that we're in. We've just come out of the pandemic. We've got staff who are exceptionally tired at this point. We have the cost of living crisis. We have the challenges that we're seeing within NHS around some of the delays and the issues when amongst there. We're seeing real pressures in our workforce in social work and social care in terms of gaps. At times it feels that we're running to stand still around this. And when we look at the consultation process that's planned in the co-design, the 70 separate work streams, for us to be able to engage in a really meaningful way around that because of the significant interdependencies between those is going to be really challenging for the workforce to be confident that we can do that in a really positive and meaningful way. So, as I say, whilst there have been opportunities and whilst we've been having those conversations, there are challenges for us about how we do that in a really meaningful way. And I think you're right, Cara, in terms of it can be difficult to get some of the frontline staff involved because the only bit that they seem to be a level of fixation on is almost who will my employer be. There's not enough probably in the bill at the moment for them to know what else that might mean for them. It's a bit too vague around that, but that sense of will it change my employment and the anxiety that change when you can't see what the wider benefits might be for you are fairly significant. That level of uncertainty for staff makes it difficult for them to think about engaging in the wider conversations that are so important around the National Care Service about how it will improve outcomes and the way we're working, because at the moment for some of those frontline staff it's my terms and conditions and where I'm going to be working and what will it mean for my pension.
Just on that, and is there almost another stage in before you move on to the co-design? Is that what you're... I'm trying to dig a wee bit deeper in terms of that, because obviously you're trying to say that's the interdependency, obviously, of a lot of issues that are there. Is there almost that pause at the start before you go into that, or are you talking for the consultation process to be a little bit longer? I
think we're suggesting that the bill should be paused, because obviously at the moment the proposal is there's a bill and then there is a co-design process, and our proposal is that we should probably do the co-design before we do the bill, so that actually we have a bill that meets what has come out of that co-design process. So it's not suggesting we shouldn't get to the point of a bill. It's not saying that Social Work Scotland certainly is against a national care service. There's just a sense that we should probably have the conversations about what that looks like, what that means, what the interdependencies are before we have a bill around that. So for us, it's just almost the cart before the horse, almost, in terms of where we're doing that co-design process is going to be really critical in this, but we need to have that before there is a bill, because it's really difficult to get behind something when the answer to lots of things is that will come out of the co-design process, but then almost it feels that we should be having those conversations now rather than after the bill.